Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, SoundClick, Instagram, the gram. I'll be on the gram. I'll be on the gram. Uh, I'm going to talk about martial law and the control of the nation. I just saw a video that was posted on the first, and it was basically talking about how they're down in Galveston, Texas, and they had a bunch of military trains bringing in some military stuff. They had helicopters flying. They had the tanks. They had military troop carriers. We've also seen before in the South where they've had trains full of military vehicles, tanks, come in. And the reason why I'm even bothering to talk about this is because, you know, when I talk about the NFL, the NBA, and the NHL, and all those being fixed, I talk about the control and who's controlling what and how freedom is not free, you know, and all the freedoms that we go and we fight for and all this other stuff. And we're fighting against a war against people who have really no interest in us, you know. And when I say that, I mean, if we pulled out of, you know, the Middle Eastern countries, it's a good chance that they're not going to come over here and mess with us. Like, we are the big dogs, at least one of the two. It's a good chance they're not, you know, mess with us. However, the only people we really need to worry about is Russia. So we're pretty much bullying people and murdering them. But nonetheless, you know, I went to see the Snowden movie, and you know, and what he did was, you know, I applaud the man. You know, for one, he's one of the smartest people in the world, and two, he helped create a system that he thought was going to be for the people and working against the people, and pretty much where, you know, the government can spy on you through your electronic devices, all of them. They can turn on your computer and look at it. You know, you don't even know that a computer's on. They can activate your mic and activate your camera. And so, you know, they could be watching all of us, and they do, because they track you through your GPS, through your cell phone. They track you through your, you know, that little card you use when you go and buy food. Dude. So they track all those computer, you know, information, all those surveys that you do. You know, every time you go online, every time you go on, you know, every time you Google something, that's all being tracked by your name. So they know everything that we do. They pretty much, they know what you eat. They know when you go to sleep. They know what your kids are doing. You know, everything. They track your children down to the nanosecond. So they know everything. And you know, and then you have these strange sounds in the skies, and you know, you have these UFO sightings, and you know, like the one that was in Arizona, where there is no way possible that that was anything that we had, that the, you know, that we as in our humans have, and the military couldn't explain it. You know, there's been UFO sightings since humans were here. And just a foolish notion to think that we are the only people within, you know, the universe of the multi-millions of universe. You know, we're just in one universe, and we think we're the only. Come on. But nonetheless, bringing it back to Earth, we are being controlled. You know, there is a system that controls us and what we do. If you don't believe it, try not to pay your speeding tickets or your car registration. Try not to register your car. Listen, the government actually said that registering your car was a, how did they, it wasn't deplorable. They said it was, well, they said basically you don't have to do it. So there are some people who don't do it, and when they don't do it, the police harass the hell out of them. You know, they come and they try to take the car, but the police know that you really don't have to register your car. But if you want to get into a struggling match with the cops, you know, you better register your car. But that money goes to the state. We also know that, you know, as far as the state is concerned, did you get one? Yeah. Boom, there you go. All is well. Good now. we also know, as far as the state and the government is concerned, we also know that the police are ran by the state. No, well, they're ran by the government. That's what they're ran by. And they're ran by corporations. There are jails that are privatized, and, of course, hospitals that are, of course, private hospitals and whatnot. And you see how that system is going. And then you have the whole involvement of government in your health care, when it comes to Medicare, Medicaid, and then people want to say Obamacare, but Obama wasn't the one who made uh, uh, the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act has long been in the works before Obama was even thought about being president. And so, he's just the one who pretty much implemented it and got it out there. But nonetheless, so all these killings of black people, and all this is not an accident. And pretty soon there is going to be martial law. This story with Kim Kardashian. Listen, Kim Kardashian being famous for her sex tapes and then being catapulted to the height of fame is not an accident. Keep your eyes on her ass. Keep your eyes off of the real issues. Syria, all the killings in Syria. Keep your eyes off of the fact that the government is keeping their eyes on you. Keep your, I mean, stay glued to the NFL, to the NBA. This is why I don't watch none of them. I don't watch none of that stuff. Stay glued and watch sports. Watch sports, more sports. Keep watching sports. Keep watching this. Look at this commercial. Look at that commercial. And it keep you glued to the TV. How many channels? How many channels is on your TV? Whether you're with Comcast, whether you're like whoever you're with, how many channels do you have on your television? How many sports channels are there? I remember when there used to be 4 channels. That was it. That was it. There was 4 channels. Bum, 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 bum. That was it. For those of you who's old as me, that was it. 4 channels. That was it. Now it's ridiculous. There's so many channels to have you sitting there and watching that idiot box just to control you, and all the time they're peering into your life while you're looking at some stupid sport and not thinking rationally and not thinking it's about to go down. You know what I mean? The other day, yesterday actually, I got into it with the gas company because they came and cut my gas off. This is after I paid them $200. So this morning, I had to get up at 4 in the morning. I was actually up at 3, but I had to leave the house like 4:30 and go down and stand at this place until they let us in at 7 and do the whole rigmarole with them and get re-verified with them. It's a program that lowers your gas bill. But I had to do that, and then after just get bit. After you do that, they cut your gas back on. But the thing about it is, when they came out and terminated my gas, I was talking to the gas company while the gas guy was here, outside my house. He was like, give them a call, see what they have to say. So, when I called them, I was like, listen, what can I pay you to make you not cut my gas off right now? And they were like, well, there's nothing you can do right now. And I was like, you mean to tell me I can't give you no money? We can't make no deal right now for you to keep my gas on. No, once a guy is sent out, they cut your gas off. I'm just like, I just went off on them. I was like, this is Gestapo tactics. Like, you're just cutting people off of something that they need, and you're telling me I couldn't pay you $300-400 right now, and you can't keep my gas on? Like, stuff like that. Like, that kind of control. You see what I mean? Like, we need to find a way to be able to be like, you know what? You cut my gas off? Okay, fine. I'm gonna be okay. It's the dead of winter. I got 3 kids, which I really don't. But let's just say that I had a full family here. I had an infant child. It's the dead of winter, and they came and knocked on my door and said, "We're cutting your gas off, and there's nothing you can do." Like, I mean, stuff like that happens. People freeze every year. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much control that other people have over our lives, and this is what I'm saying. Now, I live next to a military complex. I'm not going to say which one it is, but it's a supply complex. When I say I live next to it, I mean these houses are all part of it. At one time, most military families lived here. And I've actually seen them do some building and some ramping up over here. And when martial law hits, this is why I was talking about eating healthy and stuff like that. Listen, everything counts. Everything you eat is going to matter. Everything your children eat is going to matter. Like, being healthy is not even a joke anymore, because when it hits, listen, the last time there was something like this going on was in 1929, an economic crash, and then we went into World War II. World War III can happen the same way with this idiot Donald Trump. I mean, this dude becomes president, which he looks like he will be. He becomes president. He wants to push the button. Next thing you know, we have an economic crash, which we already had in 2008. We can have that again because of the Bush administration. When they crashed the banks, we can have that again and then go right into World War III. Listen, everything you eat, all the exercise you do, your money that you have, like, keep some money in your house. Keep some in shoebox or something. I'm for real. Like, I don't have a weapon, but I'm thinking about getting one. I'm not encouraging people to go out and start shooting folks. I'm saying we got to protect ourselves from our own government that we think is for us and they're really not for us. You know, this is happening. Look at history. This has happened time and time again where people have just been wiped out in mass numbers. Kings have done this. Caesars have done this. Lords have done this. They just wiped out the common people and then start all over again. You're this freaking queen that everybody worships during the golden age, that stupid Queen Elizabeth. She was a murderous trick is what she was. She was cutting people's heads off. And this is why the freaking pilgrims fled from her, because she would have mass numbers of people's head cut off right out in front of her. She'd be like, "Go and cut their heads off." Like, I don't worship that powder faced devil. You know what I mean? No, those people were evil. So I'm just saying, we need to listen, people. We need to protect ourselves. Everything you do, stop watching that stupidity. Get yourself right. Get some exercise in you. Get your mind right. Be prepared for the worst. If they cut your gas off, if they cut your electricity off, you need to be able to survive. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. You can't be no fat slouch during the time when everything gets cut off. You can't. You better be a strong fat slouch. You know what I'm saying? You if you got, you're gonna need all your strength. Look at what's happened to Haiti. If you don't believe me, America doesn't support Haiti. Look at what happened to Haiti, the poorest country we have, and they're about to get hit with a hurricane in a few days. Again, after they got hit with an earthquake, and they have nowhere to go. They're under 10 roofs trying to hide from a hurricane. Why? Because they're poor. Why? Because we don't support them. But we send $40 billion down to Israel. Trying to tell you it's all bad. It's all bad. And we need to prepare for the worst. Sports on 202.